Hello, 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 and welcome to today's Green Umbrella Live Lunch. So, you're probably noticing, normally it's not just me. Normally I've got Nicole here or Kim here with me. There's always at least two of the team online. Unfortunately, it's half term, so Kim is taking some time out, spending some time with her little boy this week, which is fantastic. I love the fact that the way that we work means that like the team got absolute flexibility in terms of how they structure their day. So like half term, so many people have the headaches of how to balance work and childcare and that kind of thing. We just make it really easy. So Kim's off doing that. I'm sure she'd rather be here than in like a soft play place with like, do you remember like my kids are older, but I remember having to those horrible echoey soft play places and it just been an absolute nightmare. So that's where Nicole is. Sorry, where Kim is. I said Nicole then because she's literally just popped up. We came in, we joined, and Nicole was having some tech issues, so she's had to completely restart. And I thought I'll have to get going. I can't wait anymore. But she is here. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. I can see her in the. There she is. How you doing, Nicole?
Yeah, I'm okay. A few technical issues. It's just weird, isn't it? How does my camera not work when we were on a call half an hour ago and it was fine?
It's so
But
strange.
hey,
So we were over on Zoom, wrapped up there at like what 22, and then like all
yeah.
of a sudden it's not working. But there we go. There we go. We are here now. So a couple of minutes late, but we are here. All good. All good. So this also means that we've not had chance to sort of say who's talking about what. But I think it's okay because basically nothing's happened this week in the world of social media, right?
Not really. There was a few minor things that I looked at to do with Instagram, but that's been about it. But I feel like everyone's when I thought about what everyone would pick, I feel like Instagram hashtags was the main thing.
Yeah. So go on, you kick off with that.
So Instagram is basically testing new limits on how many hashtags you can now add to a post. So before it was unlimited, wasn't it? Or like it would probably get to a certain stage, but you could
Max
probably
of 30. Yeah, so it was a max of 30 hashtags. And then so like to start off with like people just going hashtag crazy. And then that kind of came down and the advice was like 10 to 15 was good. And like 10 was good. And probably from the last year, people have been saying kind of like more of like 4 to 6. So I'm not surprised they're doing this test at 5. And I do think that's the way it will go.
Yeah, and I feel that's just quite standard anyway. I feel like I definitely see people with lesser hashtags on their Instagrams than more these days. Like when you first joined Instagram, it was the like for like, follow for follow.
Yeah. And and this is the other, there were so many tools available for you to, like, I remember to start off with, we'd sort of say, like, use your notes feature on your phone and, like, have your little hashtag clouds there that you could just copy and paste them across.
Yeah.
And Instagram was like, no, if you keep using the same hashtags all the time, like, that we're going to penalize you for that. So then we had these tools, like different apps and things, where you'd, like, put in a few hashtags and it would suggest a load, so you could just copy and paste them across. So, like, all of that's going to go out the window.
Yeah, all those poor websites.
Yeah.
Those poor tool websites that just, yeah, because I sometimes use that. When I'm lost for hashtags, I will use those just to get an idea of what I could be hashtagging that's just not so generic. Because I feel like you've even told me this, Christina, but it's always good to use like one big hashtag that kind of everyone, but your post will just get lost, but then use a more like niche hashtag. So then it's like your post is more likely to be seen. So always try and mix it up.
Absolutely. I was looking at some data actually, and as part of this piece of research, it was like what were the most popular hashtags on Instagram last year, and it was like number one I think was love.
Oh,
Can't remember
wow.
what. Yeah, number one was love. Can't remember what number 2 was, but number 3 was Instagram. I was like,
See, I
okay.
just wouldn't hashtag Instagram. Like, how is that being used? You're on Instagram. Why do you need to hashtag it?
I know, right? Crazy, crazy. I sort the only bit of news I've got really this week is and it's more of a frustration than anything else. So Meta are testing that added when you update on Facebook, you'll have an option so that you can automatically share that post on Threads as well. And I just thought Threads is already filled with duplicate content. So now we're going to just
Yeah.
make it easier to share more duplicate content over there. So I was a bit like,
Maybe it's encouraging people from like the Facebook world to sign up. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's,
I think
yeah,
they just want to encourage usership.
yeah,
They had all these people join, and then you know, all those people that joined, most of them are not using it. So I get they're, you know, trying to do something with it. Kim's there in the comments, bless her. Like I said, she will be somewhere crazy with Ollie right now, I'm sure. But she's just put Threads is dead. Bit dramatic. But yeah, it is a. I don't think they're going to give up on it, but I'm not sure where it's headed. I think they're probably just playing the long game and waiting for X to just. I imagine there'll be a time when X just completely falls flat on its face, and people then go, right, okay, are we going to move to?
yeah.
I don't think everyone will move. However, I think there'll be a big chunk. A big chunk. Yeah, Kim's just said she wants to scream into a pillow already. That's half-term hell.
That's a good hashtag. That's a
Yeah.
good hashtag.
Yeah.
Speaking of the hashtags.
Do you know, one of my daughters is calling me and I hung up, but she's now calling again, which is normally a sign it's something urgent. But we're live. What am I going to do?
You can answer it, Christina. You could just mute, take the call.
I might have to go off. So I'm going to go off screen and you're just going to torture yourself for a minute.
I don't really know. I guess I could like try and find some news to speak about. But if it is emergency, you know, it's important. If you feel like you have to take it, go for it.
Yeah, let me just drop her a message really, really quick. I'm like,
I'll stall because I have.
Oh, it's all right. She wants some lunch money. Welcome to my life, folks. Welcome to my life. There we go.
Oh, there you go. See, Kim is going to ask me questions. See, she's put, Nicole, what's your favourite thing about Rec Expo? So it's like, that's a good, you know. What do I, Kimmy in the comments, helping me out. But that's actually quite a good question. Yeah, I feel like my favorite thing about Rec Expo is actually just meeting different people, like connecting and meeting different people. Because obviously I have to like I have to like mingle with a lot of the stands and like really sort of interact with them to, you know, even direct them with getting the photos, because I do the socials and post you know, promoting all the stands and speakers on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. I would, yeah, just meeting the stands, the people behind the stands is really good fun, because you get those, I don't know, you just get those people that are just so energetic when you go over and go, yeah, let's get a picture. And it's like, yeah, they produce the best photos and the best content. So, yeah.
It is interesting. I think it says a lot about how you need to behave when you're on a stand at an event like this, because you've got to bring the energy, you've got to be engaged, otherwise people are not going to talk to you. And it is, there's like, when we've done this before, there's some stands that are really, really quiet. And when you go over there and like, should we take your photo for the marketing stuff? And they're like, they literally step out the way so you can photograph the stand. We're like, no, people are going to come and talk to you. We like,
yeah. That's the thing. I think a lot of the stands think I'm coming over probably thinking, yes, customer. And then, and I basically say, can I get a photo? Because I'm doing some socials for X. So it's kind of like a win-win. You know, because then they're like, yes, we're getting promoted. Thanks, Kimmy G. Yeah. I feel like Kimmy G was definitely a fan favourite of the last Rec Expo, wasn't she?
She worked that room. She did.
Yeah, she worked that room. She owned the room.
Okay, so what else have you got social media news-wise? Have you got anything else?
To be honest, I've only got another Instagram one where it says Instagram tests options to create alternative images backgrounds in live streams. Have you seen this? And it's just, it takes me back, Christina. So, you know, when you had the photo booth on Mac and the picture they're showing is the person cut out on a roller coaster. And I'm like, that just gives me 2008, 2010 photo booth option where you could sit on a roller coaster and you actually felt like you were on one. If anyone had that experience, I've probably unlocked a little nostalgic memory there.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't go back that far, but I did think about when, you know, the backgrounds on TikTok. It's just the same as that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Although this does the picture I'm looking at, it does look a lot cleaner than probably what a Mac produced 10 years ago, you know? Because it was really clunky. It was just yeah, it was a bit rubbish really. But yeah, this looks quite clean. And the guy in the pictures also put himself on a beach. So this really, really will test how social media can sometimes be fake, because it's like you could be there on a live stream, people could genuinely, because that picture genuinely looks like he stood on rocks on a beach.
Yeah.
The roller
Do you
coaster,
know,
it does look a bit iffy.
with the I've forgotten what it's called now, it's just gone out of my head. So OpenAI, the guys that own ChatGPT, they've released a new AI tool which is basically text to video. And the examples that I've seen are really, really good. It's like scary good,
Mm,
just crazy. But I've then seen a lot of articles this week. Like I said, there's not been a lot around sort of changes, updates, that kind of stuff. But there has been a fair amount of conversation around how are the social media platforms going to monitor and deal with deep fakes with the rise in AI. Like now, this tool alone, you can like writing your paragraph in there where you've got, you know, the next president elects doing something they shouldn't be somewhere they shouldn't be. Um, it's, you know, it's dangerous, man. It's
yeah.
dangerous.
Have you tried the LinkedIn AI writing your caption or your copy yet?
No, because it's I kind of have it 1 minute and not the next.
Oh,
It's
really?
just
Yeah,
not,
I do find that. I find that when
going.
I'm doing clients' accounts, I find on their personal, it's always there, but on the companies, it's not. But I haven't used it because it's I don't know, it's I get it for assistance and support. Like say if you're writing a kind of similar to message to what you've already posted, it's probably good in that sense where it just kind of rejigs stuff around for you. But I almost feel like someone's doing that job for me.
Yeah.
That's meant to be my job.
When you look at the analytics of your posts, LinkedIn will. So this is when you're on desktop and you look at your analytics of your personal posts. There is a section on that page now, and it kind of suggests things that you could be talking about, and it's really naff. It's just not.
Really?
It's kind of. It's not completely irrelevant, but it's just like, yeah, it's just not relevant enough. I'm actually thinking, shall I have a quick look now, see what it's suggesting to me?
Yeah, go on. I'll
You know, it was suggesting like leadership stuff and how to manage a team. And I'm like, well, that's not really, it's,
it's just generic. No, it's
yeah.
like it's not
What key
really.
skills? So, ideas for your next post. What key skills have you developed to lead successful teams as a managing director? Recommend one effective approach to presenting data.
Hmm.
You know, I'm just like,
So
to
do
be
you
fair,
think
it's
it
also
caters?
share your most successful brand positioning strategy. So that one is more relevant.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these ideas they refresh every Monday and Thursday. So if you are stuck for an idea, there might be something there. I mean, like I said, I it probably was Thursday last week that I looked at it. It tends to be Thursday, Friday. I look at my post analytics. Um, so yeah, 1 in 6 posts is a reasonable suggestion.
Yeah.
But who knows? You know, like, the things you could develop these ideas, right? So, what key skills are required for to run a successful marketing team? Maybe would be a more relevant question for me. So, you know, they're just prompts at the end of the day. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, maybe you can sort of add to it.
yeah, between that and like I said, the AI, I'm just yeah, the AI tool. I'm just gonna click in see if it's there. And yeah, on desktop, I haven't got it now even. So annoying, because I did want to
Let
play
me
with
check
it.
on mine, because I find that on my desktop, I always seem to have it. As I said, more for personal accounts than companies, but
Yeah.
yeah, I have to know, but I haven't actually checked it myself. Oh yeah, I have it on my phone at the moment.
Yeah, I've never had it on my phone.
Oh really? Oh, I did update my phone last week, and I feel like honestly, I must have been due an update for so long, because the amount of changes on there, I was just like, wow. Like even some emojis that I'd probably missed, because I started getting, this is how I knew I needed to update my phone and realised I hadn't done it in some time, is people were sending me messages and it would be that box with a question mark in it, and I thought, that's a new emoji that I just don't have yet. So then I updated it and realised that they have like a really lovely the ticky there, Christina.
Even I know what that means.
But now I've updated my phone, I'm seeing these emojis and I'm just like, wow, like no wonder they are using these emojis. They're beautiful. Like I
But do
feel
you
for
not
the
think
longest time,
there's too many emojis to
there
choose from?
is so many.
Like I'm typing, as I'm typing, if an emoji gets suggested and I think, oh yeah, that works, I might use it. I don't go searching for them though. It's for
I
GIF.
definitely have my go-tos.
Searching for a GIF, I'm just like, I'm going, oh yeah, I'll use a GIF. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm done with that now. Like they're all
See,
black.
whenever I use a GIF, I have a GIF in mind. Like I know exactly what GIF I'm going for. So like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of just the classic one.
I don't have a catalogue of GIFs in my head.
Yeah, and now that's the thing, I come to think of it, I can't even remember, like, what gifts I'm thinking of. It
Maybe
might
I was too late to the gift party.
maybe, but I feel like no. I feel like anyone can get I feel like it's just iconic moments, it's just strange. I really feel like Kim would know what I'm talking about here, like, where it's that you just have, like, almost you don't have, like, a catalogue of, like, gifts, but then you kind of do, like, you have your sort of, like, favourite few that you're just like, I don't know.
Of course, we're the gift that keeps on gifting. It does feel like that sometimes. There
That's a good
probably
one,
are.
Paul.
Over the last 190 episodes, there probably are a few gift moments. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna see like if I go on Giphy now, but then have you noticed even on Instagram? So when I like it now has in the comments. So I remember when this got announced, but in the comments it now has like a GIF button right next to it. You don't have to like search when you like bring the keyboard up, it's like right next to it. I don't know if I'm just so late to update my phone.
No,
Do you know my favourite emoji at the moment, Christina, is that one? You know, the hands that come together. I even sent that to you last week.
you did.
So there we go.
I see them. I go, oh, that's nice. I don't think to go and look for them.
I just think there's emojis that stick out in my head. Like now, this is the thing, right? I feel the coloured hearts. I literally know that you have the yellow heart, the orange heart, the red heart, the sort of like electric blue heart, the purple heart, and the green heart. And then you have the pink ones that are like, you have the pink with the sparkles, and then the pinks that are kind of like layered a little bit. But now they just have a solid pink heart. And I just feel like that's taken, how long has that taken them to just add just a solid pink heart? Like, but now it's like I'm using that all the time now. And they've added a baby blue heart. I know, random. This is probably really boring chat, isn't it? Like,
This is our world. The whole point of this is that, you know, people get to see what we're really like. And guys, this is it. This is it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's bring it back to business, social media, marketing, that kind of stuff. I've had a bit of it's been a bit of a week. So Monday, I was like deep diving on this report that's just come out. So there's a lot of information, a lot of data there. So I was going through that. Tuesday was the Recruitment Marketing Congress. So I took some of that data and built it into that presentation. And then last night I did another webinar for another organisation that was all about how to put together an irresistible go-to-market strategy. So that was really good. Got some really nice feedback. But this data that I've then built into the 2 sessions, there's some quite interesting things there that I think are probably, because there's nothing else to talk about, we may as well chat about those. So, because some of this I think affects strategically what we're doing, or what people might be thinking about doing. Okay, so
Yeah.
basic. So number one, in this report of all social media platforms and what's working and what isn't, there was basically like 2 sentences in it that was like, no one knows what the hell's going on with X anyway. So it was almost like X just got discounted from this report, which I think, when they sometimes they say, saying nothing says everything.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those moments. So yeah,
It's true though.
absolutely, absolutely. And did you see in the news? It was actually in the news last week. I think it was the news broke probably on the Friday. Actually, we didn't cover it in live lunch. So they've been putting out information saying that their ad reach had increased by X% and all this stuff. And actually, it looks like they've been fibbing. Looks like they've been playing with the data, and that's not the case at all. So yeah, there's a bit of naughty going on over at X. However, at the same time, and I'm going to look to my little notes here because I'm not good at remembering numbers. So Facebook, in terms of their ad reach, that increased by 10% last year. So people talk about Facebook being Facebook's dying, no one uses Facebook anymore. They do. They might not be in it as often as in previous years. Like, so we think, oh yeah, young people don't use Facebook. They do. They're just not in it like people like me used to be when we were that age.
Yeah.
It's a more like once a month, twice a month. So they're still being reached by ads, and because Facebook has this kind of family of apps that it works with, those ads are shown to people on other places as well. So Facebook's still a really, really good place to be using your ads.
I feel with Facebook as well, for me, I definitely think their strong point is the groups. Like,
Yeah,
I just don't think that any other real social media has that kind of, and
community.
they've never reached that level. And that just, whatever group you're in, that just brings a whole range of audiences.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, my point on that slide, my first sort of bullet point on that slide was embrace the ecosystem.
Mm,
We've got personal profiles, public profiles, we've got pages, we've got groups. That's even before we get into the messenger options. There's
yeah.
this you've got stories as well as the feeds. You've got reels. There's always like this whole separate area. There's so much going on. Facebook is an ecosystem. And if we embrace that and we use it in that way, it's got a hell of a lot of power. I didn't realize. So I'm active in a few Facebook groups, and I hadn't realized I've been putting content into those groups. I've not really been posting on my own profile.
Yeah.
But I've been active in these groups instead because they're closed communities, they're purposeful, and it's like I've got this bit of information to share. It's for this audience. I go to that group where that audience sits, and I share it there. I
Yeah.
get in those conversations because they're talking about things that are of interest to me. That is how people use Facebook now. So we've really got to, as marketers, make sure we're tapping into that. But yeah,
Mm,
like I said, globally, just the reach of their paid ads increased by 10% last year. The
yeah.
overall viewership has continued to grow. Yes, the growth is much smaller than other platforms, but when you've already got most of the market, there's not a lot of room to grow, is there?
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Um, Again, just staying on this ad reach focus, so Facebook was 10% globally. Instagram, their ad reach, so just the paid campaigns in the UK alone increased by just under 6%.
Wow.
So part of that is the growth of Instagram, but I also think part of it is the fact that you can now use Reels for your ads. I think there's more appetite for people to use paid ads on Instagram as well now,
Yeah.
in the feed, in stories, within Reels. It's just becoming more of an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
The other thing that was really interesting is that Instagram and TikTok, it's almost like this, almost a bit of rivalry. It's almost like they're in battle, okay? And they are pretty much head for head right now. So I think TikTok's growth has slowed? I don't. I don't think it has slowed, but I think it's kind of caught up with Instagram, and now they're both going at a similar pace. What's interesting is people
Mm.
use Instagram in different ways. So in terms of like daily active users, because an active use is like a session being opened. So sometimes you get like, although I'm one user and I go in 3 times, I might go in 6 times, but maybe only 3 of those are counting as one person. It is kind of weird how it all gets measured. Not weird, it's technical. It's like above my head in terms of being able to explain it to someone else. So the stats are showing that people are going into Instagram multiple times a day, but they're only in there for about 2 minutes, 2, 3 minutes. Whereas TikTok, they're not opening TikTok quite as much every day, but when they're in there, they're staying for about 6 minutes.
I agree with that. Yeah, I can see that because I feel like that is definitely me. Like Instagram is just my go-to, but then I sometimes think, what's going on in TikTok? And I'll go over there, but I actually spend longer in there.
I feel like Instagram is a social experience and TikTok is a viewing experience.
Yeah. And then
You know,
bringing
so
it back to the ads, it's kind of like they both trick me because I don't even realize I'm watching an ad in their reels or TikToks, and I end up liking it. So it's like I've actually, yeah, but I don't realize until sort of halfway through the video that it's like, oh, this is an ad, but loving the
yeah,
video because it's just good content. It's not like
I
in your
think that
face.
it is. And I think they're both trying to behave now like search engines as well.
Yeah.
So like, or search engines or discovery apps. So they're trying to
Mm.
feed you things and I think TikTok is winning the game on that side in terms of feeding you new content that you might not discover otherwise. But again, so like if you're creating content for TikTok, think about discoverability and think about the fact people are on the platform for longer, which means they're going to watch longer videos.
Yeah, very true.
And this, being able to stream TikTok on your TV now, the TV's over there, being able to stream TikTok on TV in the same way you'd use your YouTube app on the TV and watch it that way. Interesting, I think, it's worth thinking about, definitely. The other thing as well that I love, so some people are like, which one should I do? And they're trying to choose between the two, and they think TikTok's the sexy thing, that's the fast growth, that's what everyone's talking about. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not a great tool, it absolutely is, and I need to do way more on there. But get your head around this. 50% of Instagram's audience are on TikTok. Okay?
Yeah.
80% of TikTok's audience are on Instagram.
Okay, so where's the other 30% for?
So what I'm saying is, people on TikTok, 80% of them are on Instagram as well. 20% of them are just using TikTok.
Yeah,
Instagram wise,
Instagram.
it's 50. 50% just use Instagram. They've got no need for TikTok because they're cool with Instagram. The other 50% are using TikTok too.
Yeah, that makes sense again. Our Instagram, we've got to think, has been around a lot longer. So people have established and got comfortable with that app. And TikTok was basically another version of Instagram in some senses with just the just reels, and
Yeah.
then they've kind of adapted to some of the Instagrams, like the carousels and doing picture posts and all of that. But people just, it took me ages to even get on TikTok, because it's like I was just comfortable with Instagram. It's like what I liked, what I enjoyed, and I just thought I'm basically watching. And I think that is like, they are head to head, because it's like some of the content I even watch on TikTok's on Instagram, vice versa. It just whoever I see it first on.
And I think this is the thing. It's like, as content creators, we need to create a bit of content and go, and then, you know, it's how you edit it. But you record that video, you put one version of it on Instagram, you put another version of it on TikTok. I think that has to be the way to go. And it is different versions on each, based on the fact that we know people are going to be on Instagram for a short period of time. So maybe it is just 30 seconds that we're doing on Instagram, whereas it's 2 minutes on TikTok. But essentially the same asset we've used. And I was talking to someone the other day, and they've been doing reels on Instagram for a long time. They've got traction there. They've recently been pushing stuff over to TikTok. They're getting you know, some good views and stuff over there. They've recently started a YouTube channel, and I'm like, what's going on with that? And they're like, oh yeah, well, I've kind of been caught up doing this stuff. I haven't prioritized it. I said, it's simple. Just look at what's best performing Instagram and TikTok, just once, twice a week, 3 times a week. Just take your best performing and add them as YouTube shorts. So it was like, literally, it's like, yes, it's another job on the to-do list, but it's not actually creating any more work for you. That's going to help you in these early days to build traction over there. And I mean, he was like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right, lovely. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today.
I feel like it's been quite a simple week, really, isn't it? I guess we said it's half term, it's a bit quiet now.
It's the second half term. Obviously, half the country won half term last week. It's our turn this week. Hopefully next week it'll all be back to normal. And then we've just got another couple of weeks and we'll be off to the Recruitment Agency Expo.
Yeah, no, true. A month, 4 weeks to go this week. Well, yeah, not yesterday, day before.
That's it. Awesome. Okay. Well, everyone, that's us done for another week. We will actually, I don't think I'm going to be here next week. I think it's just me, you, and Kim. I'm going to be in London at a networking meeting with a room full of recruiters.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, and hanging out with some of the recruitment crew. So yeah, just be you and Kim next week, but I'll be back the week after.
Nice. You're getting ahead of the recruiting game, you see.
That's it.
Making those networks and connections, and then we'll hopefully see them at the Rec Expo as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's it, folks. The guys will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.